Becky. I'm a yoga therapist and I support the process of changing your life. We all have something that we want to work through or shift and change how we do that. I know it's hard sometimes, but I support you in that process. So today, our topic, what I want to talk about is using spontaneity and joy in your life to create better balance. So, in our fast paced lives, the pressure to maintain control over every aspect can just feel overwhelming. I know it happens to me. We find ourselves grappling with the desire to manage every detail, leading to a cycle of stress and imbalance. This constant struggle not only affects our mental state, but it can also manifest physically, resulting in tension, headaches, and irritability. You might see it in your emotions as well. The journey towards a balanced life does not lie in exerting control, but rather in embracing the ebb and flow of existence. By letting go of the urge to control everything, we open ourselves up to spontaneity, joy, and even a more peaceful way of living. So I recognize that some days are easier than others. Happens to all of us. Life balance is something that we attempt to create as we go through our days. Some days we get it right, and life feels really easy, and there are times when we get it wrong, and life feels like a constant uphill struggle. We've all been there. Often the difference is whether we've allowed ourselves to breathe in our busy schedules. And that breath of fresh air is a pause that allows you to regroup, recharge. Um, and when I say breathe, I don't necessarily mean breathe in, breathe out with the air, but it could be all kinds of things. The breath of fresh air looks different for all of us. It could be a literal breath of air because we do tend to hold our breaths a lot when we're stressed, or it could be a reevaluation of your schedule so that you get rid of the things that no longer work for you. It could be choosing to go with the flow of life instead of trying to control everything. That breath could be just a little bit of space between one task and another task. So what does that breath look like? It'll be different for everyone. Any of these choices will help you to create time for more spontaneity and joy in your life. Everything doesn't have to be an obligation. Instead, you can deliberately create a space for more fun and find more balance in your life. Sometimes things end so something else can begin. Think about that. Has that ever happened in your life? It definitely shows up in mine. One of my favorite hobbies is decluttering. I love to take the time to look through a cluttered part of my life and create an empty space. It's the creation of the empty space that allows me to bring something new to my life. I see this pattern happen all of the time in so many areas of my life. There are times when I'm sad that something that I've loved has ended. It can be bittersweet, right? When this happens, I try to remember that I'm creating space for something new to show up in my life. That empty space can be a spontaneous change that I didn't even know that I needed. It can also be a joy to seek out what needs to fill that space next. Um, so it can show up automatically, or you might seek it out. It just really depends. Life is a series, though, of ebbs and flows. The ending of something is the ebb, and the beginning is the flow. This is life balance. Go with that flow. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. Control is an illusion. You have control over so much less than you think. I know this isn't something that we want to admit, but you can't really control other people or events in your life. You can try. Trying to be in control of all these things all of the time only leads to more pain. If you've tried, you know what I mean. Sometimes that pain can be physical and other times mental or emotional. Regardless of the type of pain, often we are the reason that we are in pain. When you try to control something that is outside of your natural control, you're clinging to an impossible situation and setting yourself up for that mental or emotional pain. This need for control often manifests in your body. You may feel tense, have headaches, you may be more irritable than normal. When you pay attention to your body's signals, though, you can make changes to bring more balance into your life. Trying to control things is not a life of balance. I'm going to say that again. Trying to control things is not a life of balance. You are not allowing life to happen when you're trying to control everything. Instead, you're trying to create a life that fits the image in your head. if you want to have a life of balance, try to go with the flow. I know that's easier said than done, but when you can be a witness to all that's happening around you and allow the space for spontaneity and joy to emerge, things feel so much easier. Stop trying to control everything. You don't have to do all of the things right now. That's another quick tip that I have to remind myself all the time. I love to give myself a really long list of things to do. I'm full of ways to entertain myself. The problem is that I have a limit on my time and energy. That list can be so long and you have this much space to put it into. So I try to remember some advice that I've heard many times. That advice is that you don't have to do all of the things right now. Trying to do everything right away only leads to a life that is way out of balance. So pick one thing, pick a few things to focus on, but don't try to do them all at once. When I try to fit in too many things, I find that there's very little joy in my life. There's definitely no room for spontaneity. Instead, I only have the time to work on the long list of ideas that I'm carrying around in my head. Every time I get caught up in this pattern of trying to do everything right now, I exhaust myself mentally and physically. I'm still trying to break this cycle. This is a reminder for me as well as you that I don't have to do everything right now. I give myself permission to slow down, breathe, pause whenever I need it. So, what is one thing that you could put on hold right now? Just think about that for a moment. What is one thing you could put on hold? How does it feel? Think you won't get to it right away. What do you notice in your body when you think about this? Pay attention to those feelings and sensations in your body. Know that you can get back to the thing when the timing is right, whatever it is that you're putting on hold. Embrace life balance. And when you embrace it, it requires you to relinquish that tight grip of control that we try to have on our daily tasks and responsibilities. By recognizing that we can't do everything all at once, we grant ourselves the freedom to breathe and experience life more fully. Allow space for spontaneity. It not only enhances our joy, but also promotes a healthier state of mind and body. Life is not a race. And by letting go of the need for control, we open ourselves up to unexpected moments of happiness and fulfillment. So take a step back, prioritize what truly matters, and remember that sometimes the best thing you can do is simply go with the flow. So again, I know this is not always easy to do, going with the flow, but sometimes you need support for it. And if that's you, if you find that you need support for going with the flow, then reach out and set up a free chat. With that free chat, we'll talk about how I can help you learn to take that pause, learn to take that breath. We'll put a link in the notes for you to set up a free chat. And don't forget to like or subscribe so that we can stay connected. I'll be bringing more of these out soon. And I'll see you next time with another tip to live healthier and happier. Bye for now.